People have always came to these islands. Some, they leave again, carrying on their own journey beyond these seemingly endless horizons. Others, they bide a while, and they too become part of our story. This is the story of the craft hub at the Space. 3 islands, 1 community, and a unique building. Eglindsay, the site of the murder of St Magnus. Wyre, here is one of the oldest castles in Scotland, and a legend about a giant called Cubby Roo, who enjoyed throwing huge stones at his neighbours in Rousey. Rousey, the Egypt of the North, an archaeological paradise, and home to the Space.
The next morning the sun rose on the ship and everything was silent for the first time in 190 days since they left Hamburg.
So I'm David Campbell, I'm a project and funding kind of consultant in Orkney. I've had quite a long relationship with the craft hub in Rousey over 10 years. I've inherited a great building, a very unique building. It's got solar PV, it's got a lot of sustainability in it, but there's issues that have to be resolved to take into the community space. So it's just very practical things like looking at increasing the car park space, looking at accessible ramps for disabled, taking the kitchen up to compliance levels, some wear and tear and windows, and maybe some internal changes to the building to make sure it's better served for public events and for workshops and that. So yeah, I think it's a craft hub primarily, but I think in terms of community events, it should be a rich opportunity for the people around here to have. The funders are looking for long-term sustainability on their own, so the group to stand on their own 2 feet within 2, 3, 4 years. So having a small island with a limited population is quite hard. That's why it's so unique to work with likes of the Tower Show, work with businesses like the shop to make sure that there's no displacement, make sure they're open at different times when things are shut. So the biggest thing is probably just working together, relationships and the politics in Ireland to make sure that you are not taking from someone else, you're enhancing the experience. So community first, tourism second, and together the whole thing works.
We bought the craft hub a year ago now, just over. The space part of this building in Rousey. This last year's seen us starting to use it for community events and a regular pop-up cafe to enjoy the building.
I think one of the main aspects of this area is that it's a welcoming space for folk to come and meet with their friends or meeting neighbours, or we've had tourists come in as well. And it's important to meet, particularly in an island where there's isolation happen quite quickly here, because we're quite spread out as a group. We're not like a village street where you just walk down the street and you're there. We rely on fetching and carrying and lifts and things like that.
My name's Ian Ferguson. I volunteer at the craft hub on Rousey. I went to college out here in Orkney and I did my SVQ in professional cookery. That was quite fun, yeah, and then when I finished college again, couldn't really get any work that lined up with ferries, couldn't get any accommodation over on the other side, so I just ended up coming to the craft hub and then got a few other bits of work here and now. Help the community in Rousey, trying to help it that way, so just being part of things is a bit different from what I used to be, so especially down south, all I would do is sit in my room, so actually doing stuff is quite nice.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm the Island Wellbeing Coordinator for Rousey, Egglesey and Wyre. Part of my role is organising and arranging activities and events here that will support people's mental health and wellbeing and enable the islands to thrive and to provide opportunities for people to come together and socialise. We've been really lucky in the last year or so since the Craft Hub have owned this beautiful venue to be able to work together with them so that I can arrange activities, events here that are hosted by the Craft Hub. We've done some great activities this year, some sewing workshops and some lino cut workshops, all craft-based activities that have been really well attended and enjoyed by everybody here. Had some fab feedback from folk, not just about the learning a new skill or having a go at something different they've never tried before, but about having that social time, that time to come together and somewhere warm and with soup for lunch and nice cakes and bakes to enjoy through the day. It's been really much appreciated by everybody, and the Craft Hub is we're so fortunate to have the Craft Hub and this beautiful space here where we can hold these activities and events. You know, it's a small community and it makes such a difference to be able to bring people together and to take part in new things or things that they're really familiar with but enjoy doing.
We run a weekly pop-up cafe at the moment because there's a lot of building work that needs to be done internally and improvements to the parking outside before we can get up running as full as possible. But also we're reliant totally, completely and utterly on volunteers. And I'm starting out a monthly learning to use your sewing machine and making the most of your sewing machine, cleaning and threading and using it and exploring what you can do, and gradually we'll get a few folk that they've got their machines, you got them in COVID lockdown, used it maybe once or twice and have never used it again. But it's a great place to come. The people love coming here. It's got a wonderful atmosphere. It's fantastic acoustically because it was redesigned as a recording studio. What musicians we've had visiting this year, including two wonderful men from, was Czechoslovakia, they want to come back again. It was having given us 2 weeks notice, and we managed to have over 40 people attend on a Monday night. They were amazed. People love coming in and saying, oh, I hear you've got a railway carriage. Yes, do come and see the railway carriage. And I think it's just a wonderful space and we love it, and we're trying to make it as usable for as many people as we can but also trying to, because we are craft hubs, we're trying to encourage people to make things and do things to learn themselves and possibly make things to sell here. It's a mix, but also the cafe is a space. People love coming down here. We're blessed with lots of areas that we can apply for funding, but we've also got to raise our own, and we're doing our best. We're doing what we can. And I'm amazed at the generosity of the islanders and the visitors. It's a wonderful space, and I'm very pleased we moved here.
And Do you have any recipe hints?
No, you're not getting any.